You and your friends attend a Smash Mouth Mozart tribute concert. The music rings throughout Wells Fargo and Smash Mouth's voice sounds amazing. Here is how your brain receives those wonderful sound waves. The pinna is the visible part of the outer ear. It collects Smash Mouth's groovy tunes and directs it to the outer ear canal. The auditory canal channels the sound waves to the eardrum. The sound waves make the eardrum vibrate, and the ossicle bones are in the middle ear, which are made up of the anvil, stirrup, and hammer. The hammer, a tiny bone behind the eardrum, receives vibrations from the eardrum and passes the vibrations to the anvil, another tiny bone. Lastly, the anvil relays the vibrations to the stirrup, and the stirrup relays the vibrations to the cochlea.
The cochlea, a snail-shaped, fluid-filled structure, is in the inner ear and contains the basilar membrane. When the vibrations are in the cochlea, fluid in the basilar membrane joust around and cause the cilia, which are tiny hair cells, to move when vibrated. These hairs move in a similar motion to a wheat field in the wind. The moving hair triggers impulses in the adjacent nerve cells. The axons of those nerve cells converge into the auditory nerve, which sends electrical impulses through the thalamus for processing in the brainstem to the auditory cortex in the brain's temporal lobe.
At the temporal lobe, sound is further processed and given meaning. The equestrian tube is a tube that connects the middle ear to the eardrum to the back of the nose. It equalizes pressure between the middle ear and air outside. This is what happens when your ears pop. They are just equalizing pressure. The semicircular canals are 3 loops of fluid-filled tubes that are attached to the cochlea in the inner ear that help us maintain balance. This is why when you spin around, the fluid is moving, and it seems like you're still moving or dizzy because the fluid is still moving.
It's Saturday morning. You just woke up and you're watching SpongeBob with your siblings. SpongeBob's bright yellow figure keeps flashing on the screen. The waves from his light yellow body hit the cornea of your eye, where it focuses and bends the light. It then goes through your pupil and the iris, when the iris contracts in response to the bright light, and then travels through the lens. The lens projects the light to the retina, which bends the lens to focus on SpongeBob. This is called accommodation.
The cones then interpret the color of his character. As explained by the trichromatic theory, the cones contain 3 different color receptors, one for red, one for green, and one for blue. The opponent process theory states that opposing retinal processes, meaning red and green, yellow and blue, white and black, enable color vision. The cone receptors are located within the fovea, which is the back center of the eye. From there, the bipolar cells transmit information from the photoreceptor cells to the ganglion cells. The ganglion cells make up the optic nerve, receive information from the bipolar cells, and transmit the image of SpongeBob to the brain to be processed.
Hits the optic chiasm, the point where the nerve fibers cross over each other. This allows the information from your left eye to be transmitted to the right half of your brain and vice versa. To your left, your sibling throws a pillow, but you do not see it because it is in your blind spot, the point where your optic nerve leaves the eye. The image of SpongeBob is then processed through your thalamus, where most sensory information is sent to the area in the cortex where it is processed. It then gets sent to the visual cortex in the occipital lobe and sent to other visual areas for further processing. Feature detectors are used to detect specific features of SpongeBob, such as his shape, the angle he's standing at, or his movement.